She's sacking. A great bull rush by Chris Jones.
When it gets tough, you know, he's going to be there battling. Players appreciate it.
The Chiefs put the hammer down with a 34-yard touchdown pass. The 10 still knocks out. Oh, what a run out of this world. Falls up to 20, 10, 5, touchdown.
There are no injuries to give you. I will tell you that I didn't have our guys ready to go well enough, and it's my responsibility to put our guys in a lot better positions during that game and didn't take advantage of that. So I thought we had some real good downs, but we also had some turnovers and some mistakes that shouldn't have taken place, and we'll correct those and get ourselves back ready to go. So, at that time, Jim.
Coach, what did you say to Chris Jones on that fourth down play? What was your message to him? I know it kind of like changed the game, but what do you say to him after an error like that?
Yeah. Well, I didn't see any pushing or shoving. I'm not exactly sure. You know, there were two guys talking to each other. I know that. It seemed like Chris got called on us, so I guess the best advice would be don't talk.
So you didn't get any further explanation on that flag?
And can you walk us through the decision to, it looked from our vantage point like it's a fake field goal? I guess A, is that the case, and what the decision was for that?
Yeah, that's one I probably should have called.
Coach, from the start of the game, it seemed like special teams had a few mistakes. How much did that carry over to the rest of the game?
Yeah, well, listen, you know, in the NFL, the parity is crazy. So any mistakes get magnified, and that's just how it goes. And so we got to clean that up. We got to clean it up, and we'll get that taken care of.
How would you just characterize the offense right now?
Yeah, you know what? I've got to make sure I'm putting the guys in a better position and get us in a rhythm. I've got to get us do a better job to get us in a rhythm, and that's not taking place. So, you know, I got to go back and look at that.
And yet, as you guys are getting ready to go into the locker room for halftime, it appeared that Patrick and B didn't agree on decision. I don't know if it was whether to go for a Hail Mary. Obviously, you had to sort of separate the two. Can you just give us your vantage point?
There wasn't. I'm sure that's how it looked, but there really wasn't. I said he wanted to go for it. Obviously.
Like for a Hail Mary specifically? Or?
No, not a Hail Mary, something else. Yeah, but I thought it was best not to do it. So he was he's a competitive kid, you know, and he wants to take advantage of every opportunity. I thought it was best just to let that ride there. But really, if you heard the words that were said, that wasn't, I don't know how it looked to you guys, but there wasn't a confrontation at all. That's not what it was.
Coach, on that second, from that opening drive that you had the second half, you went for it the first time on fourth down, decided to kick the field goal the second time you were on the fourth down. What was the difference?
Yeah, it was a little bit longer, and we had a shot. I thought we had a shot at making the field goal right there. Yeah.
Andy, how much trust did you have in Amendola today?
I had trust him because he made it last week, you know, so at a certain spot, right? I want to make sure we didn't put him in a bad position. He's a young guy that's just starting off here, so I mean, tried to make sure it was the right position to put him in.
Was there any decision to have Justin kick today for you?
No.
Andy, Nate asked you a minute ago about the fake field goal. Can you elaborate on your answer? I'm not sure what your answer was.
Yeah, my answer was I should probably not have done that.
Well, that's easy to see now. Can you go elaborate on your reasoning for doing it in the first place?
Yeah, we thought we would have it.
Anything else?
All right.
All right, Mitch Holthus back along with Matt McMullen here in Indianapolis. The Chiefs lose to the Colts 20-17. Wow, the Chiefs had all kinds of chances to put this game away, but we said all week long, a desperate dug-in foe, desperate to win like the Colts. You're going to have to play better than this if you're the Chiefs, and the door just stayed open for the Colts.
Yeah, we let them hang around. It's a very tough loss here for the Chiefs, and the margin for error in the NFL is so slim that you can't commit that many mistakes and expect to win. That's what happened here today. Yeah,
let's start with special teams. Really, it started with the muff punt by Sky Moore that just kind of handed the Colts a touchdown, but a missed field goal, a missed PAT. There were good kick returns by the Colts. The miss on the fake punt when the Chiefs had 4th and 11. Those were all special teams areas. There's 4 core special teams. And today, other than Tommy Townsend punting again for a second straight game, the Chiefs pretty much were, well, they were handled by the Colts in those areas.
Yeah, and we're not used to that kind of thing here in Kansas City. I mean, since 2013, really, with Coach Tobe, this has been, if not the best special teams unit in the NFL, a top 5 unit every single year, and it still is. They just had a very rough day. A lot of young players on this special teams unit. Got to learn from this. That's the most important thing. These things will happen every once in a while, but you have to learn from it and move on.
Offensively, the Chiefs just had 3 third-down conversions in this game, opportunities, 3 different possessions. In the second half, they could have gotten to a double-digit 11-point lead, and you thought if that happens, this game's over, but couldn't get it done, including 1st and goal at the 1.
Yeah, let's look at these possessions for the Chiefs in the second half. The first one was a 15-play drive. You're for sure going to get 7 points there, right? But it ends with just 3 points, even though the Chiefs drove to the 3-yard line of the Colts. The next drive, you get 64 yards on that one, ends in the fake punt that didn't work. The next drive, you get 53 yards, ends in a missed field goal, and the final drive ended in the interception with only seconds left to go. We're used to more from the Chiefs offense here. They just couldn't finish here today.
Yeah, again, a great opportunity. And then defensively, it looks like the Chiefs had the Colts off the field to get the ball back, but an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty gave an automatic first down for the Colts. You can't keep giving a team like this that many chances and come out of here with a win.
Yeah, and Chris Jones, he knows this. He knows. No one has to tell him this. He knows he's a veteran in this league. That's the kind of thing you just can't do in that situation. Once again, he's got to learn and move on from it.
Yeah, we've already heard from Andy Reid at the podium, but he's been the best I've ever seen in his 10 years at dealing with flashpoints. So here's the first flashpoint the Chiefs have had to deal with in losing this game, and we know how uber tight the AFC West is going to be, but to give this one away, so to speak, you just got to dig your heels in and come back and attack Sunday Night Football next week.
Yeah, and just lean on your leadership here. Lean on Coach Reid, this whole coaching staff, Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce. We've been in these situations before, all right? And we're lucky that we are at least 2-1 here. We have 2 victories already, got off to a good start. Just got to move on from this one here. I mean, tough Tampa Bay team coming up, but can't let this thing snowball, and I know they won't.
No, they're not. That's usually and Coach Reid won't let that happen. And Nick Bolton had a big game. We'll talk about that further. But let's go back to the podium and get more reaction from here in Indianapolis. Chiefs lose 20-17.
All right, guys.
Yep.
Justin, the last drive with the Colts, what did you see there that you just couldn't finish the job at the end there with the lead?
Yeah. You know, in this league, a lot of times football comes down to situations, and we had a situational football at the end of the game, and we came up short. I think we made too many plays shooting ourselves in the foot, and the Colts came out and executed, and credit to them. They did a good job taking time off the clock and then going down and getting points on the board.
On that last drive, obviously, you all had the initial stop, referee, do a play with Chris. Did Chris tell you all why you may have been called for a personal foul?
Yeah, I mean, Chris is a veteran, and I don't really speak much on other players, but he knows what's going on. You know, we'll just have to chalk that one up, look at ourselves, and get better from it.
How frustrating was it to, as you said, shoot yourself in the foot time and time again? I mean, throughout the game, all facets of the game had their problems. Just how frustrating was that as the game wore on?
Yeah, I mean, that's the National Football League. It's a game of inches. You can't do things that beat yourselves, and you got to go out there and win. I'll give a lot of credit to the Colts special teams. I think they did a hell of a job today. But we got some things. We did some good things on the field today. Just came a little bit short, and, you know, we're just going to have to go back, watch the tape, and we'll learn to move on from this and not repeat those mistakes. Justin, you mentioned special teams. How much of those mistakes early in the game carried over to the rest of the game? I think that mentally this team has a good fortitude to where, you know, when bad things happen, we're able to move on to the next play. It was just, you know, last week whenever we were able to turn the tide on the game, and, you know, this week that's just how the NFL goes sometimes. So I don't think that this is anything that's going to be detrimental to us as a program, to the mentality of the locker room. I think we're all still hungry to be successful, and we're just going to be chopping at the bit after we watch this tape to get ready for our next opponent.
What was Andy's message to you guys at the end?
Just to stay consistent. A lot of the same things. We know what we did. We had opportunities to win this game, and we just came up short. So, in order to win in this league, you gotta win those inches and be successful.
Justin, what do you think of blitzes that Spags were able to put together for you guys?
I thought a lot of them were very effective. I thought that we were able to confuse their offensive line, but that's Coach Spags' specialty, having guys come from all over. So that's part of the good things that we did.
All right. Thank you.
For sure. Thank you, guys.
Okay. Patrick, simple case of just a lot of self-inflicted wounds in this game, if you will, and that just led to the loss. How frustrating was it to just kind of keep shooting yourself in the foot, as Justin was just saying?
Yeah, I mean, we just didn't play good enough, especially on the offensive side of the ball. Starting with me, obviously we missed some kicks and stuff like that, but at the end of the day, we had multiple opportunities to score. So, I mean, we have to find ways to get the ball in the end zone, and that starts with me. You can't just get yards. We got to be able to get in the end zone when we're down there.
The offensive line, I know there's a little struggle there. How did you assess what was going on between the offensive line? I know they have a good defensive line, but how did you assess that matchup?
Yeah, I mean, they have a lot of money in that defensive front. They got a lot of great players. So, I mean, obviously, I got to go back and watch the film. But I thought they battled, and it's my job to get the ball in my hand. And I felt like I was holding a little too long in certain situations, and I got to be better in that instance. And I think I got better as the game went on. But 2 slow starts in a row, you got to get better in the first half.
Patrick, obviously before halftime, there was a little discussion between you and what took place there?
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, I wanted to go try to score. I mean, that's just who I am. We were in a tough situation. I believe it was like 2nd or 3rd and 20 and something like that. And probably the smart decision was to just take it. We had got the ball at a half. Let's just go to halftime. But I'm always gonna be wanting to score. And I mean, I pretty much just said, let me have a chance at it. And then he was just like, let's get back in the locker room and we'll get something going for the next half. And I guess I don't know if that's an altercation, but I mean that was the end of the conversation.
Was that specifically just the run call, or did you want to try to Hail Mary?
No, yeah, it was the run because I tried to go deep the first 2 times, and obviously they were in a deep coverage, and I was just all I said was I'm not going to turn it over. I'll get it out, try to get to the sideline and get us a chance to kick a field goal. But I mean it's a tough situation. I mean I'm on the field. I'm playing. I want to always try to go score. That's who I am. But that's their job is to make sure they manage the game the right way. And I mean we had multiple chances to win after that. We just got to be better in the second half.
You talked about a lot of times just need to be better. What needs to be better?
We got to gel all together. I mean, it starts with me. I mean, there were certain throws I was putting on guys' back hips instead of in front of them. There were certain situations where we were just barely off. If it was a D lineman got around my feet and I missed Justin Watson, or if it was a throw at the end of the game where I could have maybe tried to put it in front of Juju and it gets tipped up for a pick. I mean, it's just little things like that. Whenever you're playing a tough game like that, you have to execute at a higher level, and we have to learn from it. I mean, our schedule gets no easier. We have a hard game, Sunday Night Football against Tampa next week with a great defense. So we have to get better quickly, and if we don't want these L's to start piling up. We want to make sure we get back on that winning train.
Patrick, it seems like the deep ball hasn't been there as much as it was in years past. What are you seeing from defense? Are they playing you any differently than other?
Yeah, I mean, they're playing deep. I mean, that's their goal is to make us drive the field, make us execute. I had the one in the first drive. I missed Marquez. I got to hit that, especially in games like this. If I hit that throw, it's probably a whole different ball game. But other than that, I mean, they played back the entire game. They let us drive the field, and they stopped us in the red zone. I'm sure that was their game plan going in. They executed it well.
Special teams had a few.
Are these expected growing pains with the new group, or is this stretch beyond that?
I mean, I don't expect any growing pains. I mean, you obviously have new players, and you don't know how everybody's gonna respond in tough situations. So we can learn from it. But for me, I'm always going out there with the expectation that we're gonna win.
Patrick, the special teams earlier had a few mistakes. You being on the offensive side of the ball, how much does that carry over to the rest of the game?
You can't let it carry over. I mean, you have to just kind of respond. I mean, even though we had the early mistakes and stuff like that, I mean, we trust those guys in those positions. That's why we keep going back to them. for us as the offense, we got to make it where those little mistakes don't cause a loss. I mean, we had multiple chances to get in the end zone. If we get in the end zone one time and so don't stall out in the red zone that second half, the game's over. So, I mean, it's just with the defense plays like this, the defense plays like they did today and they've played this whole season, we got to win these football games.
Sky's young. Were you able to talk to him after that?
Yeah, I talked to him. I mean, we have full trust in Sky. He's talented. He made one mistake. I mean, at the end of the day, he made one mistake that ended up causing a touchdown. But I think he'll make a lot of plays in that Chiefs uniform that will be positive for us. And so we're going to keep going back to him and keep giving him chances to make plays.
Couple more. In the second half, when you guys kicked the field goal on 4th and goal from the 2, is there a conversation there? I mean, are you trying to?
Yeah, I mean, I try most times. They did a good job of stopping us a couple of times there at the goal line. I had the one where it kind of slipped out of my hand trying to get to Kels real fast. And in certain situations, you have to just take the points and when a game's going like this. And I think you see that sometimes. I mean, the defense plays like they're playing right now. I mean, I have full trust the offense is going to figure it out. So, I mean, if that's the positive I see in this game is defense is playing really good football. And the offense, we have to learn to get better as the season goes on so we can win a lot of football games.
Were you feeling the momentum kind of shifting from time to time? Obviously, you look at the fake field goal that you tried earlier, and then coming out of the half again. You went for it the first time on the 4th down before going for it on the goal line. I mean, do you all feel the sense of the game shifting at any time during that point?
I didn't. I mean, the way our defense was playing, I mean, you were just relying on them. You're just trying to find ways to put points on the board. I mean, they've done a great job these first few weeks. They did a great job today. And they have players too, and we gave them too many chances, and we didn't put it in the end zone, and they made plays at the end of the day. So I didn't feel the momentum really swing until after they scored the last touchdown. I mean, we have to be better. I mean, that's all I can say as an offense. We have to be better.
Last one out. How do you assess what this team is? Is week one come out dominant, or the team that's still struggling to figure out who you are?
I mean, I don't know if you can assess how the team is yet. I just want to find ways to win at the end of the day. We obviously aren't playing the way we wanted to these last 2 weeks on offense, but we've been battling, and the guys battling. You can see them battling to the very end, and so you love that. But you got to find. I mean, our schedule. We have a tough schedule, so we have to find a way to win these football games. They're going to be tough contests, and so we'll see how we respond. I'm excited to see how the guys respond.
All right, thank you.
Right.
Carlos Patrick said that one of the highlights was the defense. What do you think of Patrick's defense?
We played pretty good, but not good enough to win.
Carlos, hopefully get today. Edwards-Helaire stepped in for him. What did you see from him?
I seen him flying around, I seen him doing his job, making plays. That's what you're supposed to do. You know, we rotate a lot of guys at a lot of different positions, so you never know when your moment is. You never know when your time's going to come. But we expect you to do your job and make your play. We hold you accountable to your job.
There was a couple of mistakes early on, in the game. How much does that carry over to the rest of the game?
I mean, it depends on how guys handle it. You know, everybody handles it differently. You know, unfortunately, some of it was young players, and I think the team did a good job getting behind them and bringing them back. I don't think that no same player made the same mistake, but you had a couple different mistakes by the majority, or not by the majority, but by a variety of different people. And in games like this, you get that result.
As a veteran, you got a lot of new players on the team, a lot of rookies. What's your message to them to not dwell into this loss, knowing that you got a big game next week against Tom Brady and the Bucs?
Next week is a new week. I think the rhythm of the week kind of eliminates that thought. Fortunately, it's not a Thursday night game, so you don't have it in 48 hours or whatever, you know, preparing for the next game. So I think, you know, on that flight back, and then obviously Tuesday reviewing that tape, coming in, that puts it to rest. And obviously, I think we have the players and the young players who will bounce back, and they take ownership and accountability for, you know, their mistakes. And I think they're going to pride themselves in not letting it happen again. And I think, you know, I think that's one of the great things here. And then what Coach Reid said after the game was phenomenal. And, you know, very few coaches, you know, take it on the chin like he did and address it right then and on the spot. So that was admirable.
You all seriously have been playing lights out defense the last week. In your opinion, how many points do you think the Alpha needs to give you for you all to shut down the other team?
Lights out to me is 0 points on the board. So although they had some favorable spots or whatever and, you know, field position, we still pride ourselves in not letting them score and eliminating big plays. And we didn't exactly do neither of those two, so I can't claim lights out. But we're setting a good foundation to build on, but we got to clean up a lot of things.
What did Andy address after the game?
How we played as a collective and how we're going to tackle it. You know, he addressed you guys, so I'm not going to put words in his mouth, but the way that he directly addressed the game today was admirable. That's all I'm saying.
You mentioned accepting responsibility for actions. Chris Jones was in the locker room earlier, and he said, yeah, that play was my fault.
See? That's dope. I wasn't even sitting there. Yeah.
You've been around a lot of football. Have you ever seen a play like that where a quarterback and defensive player have a little exchange on the field and the flag immediately comes up?
I didn't even see what happened. I saw Chris in front of him, and I kind of had him in the headlock because he fell into his lap, and you had guys around his feet and a guy hitting him on the side. So it was a big pile. So I had no clue of what happened, and I'm still trying to figure that out. But they called it on Jones. I didn't see him do anything personally, but I was on the sideline, so I don't know what could have happened out there.
Carlos, I know it's any given Sunday, right? Coach came in today winless. Did they do anything that surprised you guys, or did you guys kind of like look past them? Looking forward to next week.
We definitely didn't look past them. That's one thing, you know, my family lets me know who we're playing next week when they request tickets. Oh, I'm coming in 2 weeks, you know. I don't look, I focus in week to week, day by day. That's one of the things you might see me talk about, being grounded, 10 toes down, locked in, be where my feet are. And I think the team as a collective already does that, and that's another admirable thing here. But the Colts capitalized on our mistakes today, and that's why a team that didn't have wins was able to stay in with a team that had, you know, 2 wins. And ultimately, when you let it stay that close and it comes down to a bang-bang play and they make a play and they got rhythm and they're at home, things like this can happen.
What'd you think of the blitz packages that Spags had for you guys to get after Ryan today?
I think the production shows we got after him. We hit him a lot. I think that right there says a lot. You know, we as a D-line pride ourselves in getting to the quarterback when he allows 4, but he likes to send 4, he likes to send 5, he likes to send whatever he wants to send. He has his rhythm. I'm still trying to learn it personally, but we've been getting after the quarterback these games, and we just want to continue to build on that. And we got to get after him in these closing situations when they're driving, and we're out there on defense. I personally pride myself in getting off the field, and we didn't do it today. We allowed them to score in a 2-minute situation to win the game. That's not something that I'm proud of at all.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Yeah, back here in Indianapolis, the Chiefs lose 20-17. This Colts team has a lot of pride, and they showed that today, just kind of hanging in there. But the Chiefs could have put these guys away. But let's talk about some of the positive defensive plays in this game. In the first half, the Colts decide near midfield to go for it on 4th and 1 and try to throw it. What about the play L'Jarius Sneed made? It was a fumble recovery for the Colts, but it was still a turnover on downs, and the Chiefs used it to score.
Yeah, it was absolutely huge. The Chiefs didn't have much momentum at that point, and you felt like the Colts with Jonathan Taylor in the backfield, they're going to get that first down, but they decided to pass in that situation. And L'Jarius Sneed with the big sack. Then think about the sequence after that. The Chiefs get the ball, hit Travis Kelce for a big 29-yard 3rd down conversion, and then Kelce caught a touchdown just 1 snap later. So huge play there for Sneed. The defense throughout this game really picked the offense up, and the special teams as well.
Another play that led to a Chiefs score was forced by the defense, and that was Carlos Dunlap with a forced fumble. Sneed got the fumble recovery, but that was just Dunlap staying with the play and getting the ball out from Matt Ryan.
Yeah, once again, the Colts had momentum at that point. They're moving. They got a field goal at one point, and then they're moving once again. A big play to Alec Pierce. You think maybe the Colts are going to score there, but yeah, Carlos Dunlap with a big strip sack led to a touchdown by Clyde Edwards-Helaire a bit later. We were feeling really good at that point and excited to see Carlos Dunlap making some big plays for this defense.
And then we mentioned earlier about Nick Bolton's play all day long, but his 4th and 1 stop with an airborne Jonathan Taylor was big time.
I mean, Nick Bolton was awesome today. That's the one thing with losses like this, you forget about the really good performances. Nick Bolton was absolutely awesome in this game, and to stop Jonathan Taylor, perhaps the best running back in the NFL, who's airborne on a 4th and 1, it was huge. So very proud of Nick here today.
So we close things out here. The Chiefs now have to mouthwash this game and get ready for Sunday Night Football, another Brady Mahomes showdown in Tampa. And that's where the focus will be this week and try to recover from this loss.
Yeah, and once again, you can't let this kind of thing snowball, but you have to learn from it. You have to digest it, go out there at practice, know what went wrong, and make sure you go out there on Sunday night and just don't let it happen again. These are fixable mistakes for the Chiefs. We know the team that they can be, so let's see it on Sunday night.
I've seen Andy Reid do this so many times, but he'll start with, you don't blink, you don't flinch, you don't finger point, you don't start to blame one guy for one play or the other. You take it as a team and you move on as a team, and I know Patrick Mahomes will lead the way as well in trying to recover and try to go beat a tough Tampa Bay Bucs team. Yeah, once again, leadership. That's what you lean on in these situations. We have leadership in spades on this team. They'll figure it out. They'll move forward. They'll learn from this loss. It'll make them better, I think, in the long run. So again, a lot of things happen in this game. Most of them were in the Colts' favor, and the Colts go on to win 20-17. The Chiefs are now 2-1 on the campaign and headed for a primetime showdown where they were last there in Super Bowl 55. For Matt McMullen, our senior team reporter, I'm Mitch Holthus, voice of the Chiefs. Get ready to bounce back next week at Tampa Bay.
Chiefs Rewind is brought to you by Ford, the official car and truck of the Kansas City Chiefs, and by Community America Credit Union, the official banking partner of the Kansas City Chiefs.